My name is Emily Carter, and I was 36 years old the day I discovered my husband had secretly put our house in his mother's name. I wish I were joking. I wasn't. For 12 years, I believed we were building a life together. A future, a family, a home. Apparently, only one of us believed that. I met Daniel when I was 24. He was charming, funny, ambitious. At least that's what I thought. We got married 2 years later and bought a beautiful house outside Charlotte, North Carolina. The down payment came mostly for me. Years of savings, years of overtime, years of sacrifices. Daniel promised none of that mattered because everything we owned belonged to both of us. I believed him. For a long time, our marriage looked perfect from the outside. Good jobs, nice neighborhood, family vacations, holiday photos. The usual picture everyone posts online. Then little things started feeling strange. Whenever financial paperwork arrived, Daniel handled it. Whenever tax documents came in, Daniel filed them. Whenever I asked questions, he always had answers ready. I trusted him. That was my mistake. One afternoon, a neighbor mentioned something odd. She had been looking up property records for a boundary issue. While searching, she noticed our house wasn't listed under our names. At first I laughed. That was impossible. I'd signed the mortgage paperwork myself. But later that evening, curiosity got the better of me. I searched the county records. Then my stomach dropped. The owner wasn't me. It wasn't Daniel either. It was his mother, Sandra. My hands started shaking. I refreshed the page 3 times. The answer didn't change. Sandra Reynolds, property owner. I couldn't breathe. When Daniel came home, I showed him the records. His face turned white. Then came the excuses. Then came the lies. Then came the truth. 3 years earlier, without telling me, he had transferred ownership of the property into his mother's name. According to him, it was temporary. According to him, it was for asset protection. According to him, I was overreacting to discovering my own house wasn't legally mine. I asked the obvious question. Why didn't you tell me? He stared at the floor. Then he said something I'll never forget. My mom thought it was safer this way. Safer. Not for me. For them. Suddenly everything made sense. Every financial document. Every avoided conversation. Every vague answer. They had been planning for years. Protecting themselves. Not us. The next morning, I hired an attorney. By the end of the week, I learned even more. The transfer wasn't the only secret. Several joint accounts had been drained. Money had quietly moved between family members. Documents had been signed without my knowledge. The deeper we looked, the worse it became. I felt betrayed, humiliated, furious. But mostly, I felt relieved. Because for the first time, I finally understood what was happening. The confusion was gone. The truth was ugly, but it was clear. 3 months later, I filed for divorce. Daniel was shocked. His mother was furious. Both insisted I was destroying the family. I found that interesting, because nobody seemed concerned when they were destroying my trust. Only when their actions had consequences. The legal process lasted almost a year. It wasn't easy. It wasn't cheap. But eventually, the courts sorted everything out. Assets were divided. Records were reviewed. Questions were answered. And for the first time in years, nobody could hide behind excuses. Last spring, I bought a smaller house of my own. Every payment has my name on it. Every document has my signature. Every key belongs to me. A few months ago, Daniel called and asked if I regretted ending the marriage. I told him no. Because relationships don't fail when people make mistakes. They fail when people build entire futures on deception. And that's the thing about trust. It takes years to build, minutes to destroy. And sometimes, one document is all it takes to reveal the truth. That was the day I learned that the most expensive thing someone can steal isn't money. It's peace of mind. And once it's gone, getting it back changes everything.